In 1999, European leaders celebrated what they believed would permanently unite their continent, a single shared currency, the euro. It promised easier trade, stronger economies, and deeper political unity. Yet just a decade later, the Eurozone debt crisis nearly collapsed several European economies and exposed how difficult it is for vastly different countries to operate within a single monetary system. Today, Africa is considered an even more ambitious proposal, creating a single continental currency across more than 50 nations. So today's question becomes, should the African Union's proposed continental currency move forward? While a unified African currency could improve trade and strengthen cooperation across the continent, the African Union should not move forward yet, because African economies remain too economically diverse, lack strong shared financial institutions, and would benefit far more from gradual economic integration before adopting a shared currency. To begin, the appeal of a unified currency is understandable. Africa currently operates with more than 40 national currencies, leading to constant exchange rate fluctuations and increasing transaction costs for businesses trading across borders. According to the African Development Bank, trade between African countries makes up only about 15% of total trade on the continent, far lower than regions like Europe or Asia. One major reason for this gap is currency fragmentation, which makes cross-border commerce more expensive and unpredictable. A single currency could address several of these challenges. Eliminating exchange fees would make it easier for businesses to operate across national borders and expand into new markets. Stable pricing across countries could attract foreign investments by reducing uncertainty caused by volatile exchange rates. Additionally, a shared currency could strengthen Africa's global economic influence, allowing the continent to negotiate trade and financial agreements as a more unified economic bloc rather than dozens of small economies competing individually. For many African Union leaders, the proposal is also political as much as economic. A continental currency represents a vision of unity and independence, reducing reliance on foreign currencies like the US dollar or euro while strengthening regional cooperation. So, in theory, then a single currency could accelerate development and help Africa play a larger role in the global economy. However, while the benefits do sound compelling, the reality is far more complicated. The greatest obstacle facing a continental currency is that African economies are simply too diverse to successfully share one monetary system. Successful currency unions require countries with relatively similar economic conditions, including comparable inflation rates, levels of industrial development, and fiscal discipline. Across Africa, those conditions vary dramatically. Nigeria's economy depends heavily on oil exports. Kenya's growth is driven largely by services and technology, while countries such as Ethiopia and Rwanda are focused on manufacturing and infrastructure expansion. Inflation rates and government debt levels also differ widely across the continent. If these nations adopted a single currency, they would lose one of the most important tools governments use to manage economic crises: control over their own monetary policy. Countries would no longer be able to adjust inflation interest rates or devalue their currency during economic downturns to restore competitive or stabilize employment. Europe's experience provides a clear warning. During the Eurozone crisis, countries like Greece and Spain faced several recessions but could not independently adjust their currency, which prolonged unemployment and deepened economic instability. Africa faces an even greater economic diversity than Europe did prior to adopting the euro, meaning similar problems could emerge on even a larger scale. Instead of abandoning integration altogether, Africa is already pursuing a more practical and sustainable path forward. In recent years, the African Continental Free Trade Area has begun creating the world's largest free trade zone by number of participating countries. Its goal is to increase regional trade, improve infrastructure connections, and gradually align economic policies across African nations. Additionally, a new regional payment system and digital financial platforms are already helping businesses conduct cross border transactions more efficiently without requiring countries to give up monetary independence. These solutions reduce many of the same barriers a single currency aims to solve, while avoiding the risks associated with premature monetary union. Ultimately, the monetary unity should represent the final stage of integration rather than just the starting point. Africa's long term vision of economic cooperation remains achievable, but timing matters significantly. And Africa's ambition to create a single continental currency reflects a powerful vision of unity, economic growth, and greater independence within the global system. The potential benefits, increased trade, stronger investment, and enhanced geopolitical influence are real and significant. However, history shows that shared currencies succeed only when economic foundations already exist. And for now, the African Union should prioritize deepening trade integration, strengthening institutions, and allowing national economies to gradually align before moving towards monetary union. And because while a single African currency may one day symbolize continental strength, adopting it too soon risks turning into an ambitious vision into economic instability, and in the end, Africa's future unity will depend not on how quickly it adopts a shared currency, but on how effectively it builds the economic conditions that can make the currency succeed altogether. Thank you.